Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a good day, and we want to thank you for joining us today. My name is Katya. This is Johanna.
Hello.
In the upcoming hour, we will be talking about our institution, CERGE-EI. And before we go on and introduce ourselves, I would like to ask you to help us understand whether the connection is working properly. So if you could just write a tiny message to this common chat on the right of your screen. Let's say hi, or I can hear you, or please talk louder, I cannot hear you. It will reassure us, because then we would be sure that we're not talking to ourselves. Okay, thank you in advance. Oh, thank you, Alex. We are glad that you hear us. I hope ours do too. So, my name is Katya, and I am a PhD student here at CERGE-EI. I am on the 5th year. I'm from Lithuania. If you don't know, it's a country in Europe, a bit closer to the north. Before coming to CERGE-EI, I did my master's or master's equivalent in Kaliningrad, that's Russia. And I specialized in finance and credit, so it's an economic track, it's not a math track or any other technical specialization. I did prep semester before I was admitted to the first year. For those of you who know a bit about CERGE-EI, this is a piece of information. If you don't know what I'm talking about, soon you will find out, because we will explain that. So I'm here to present the student point of view on CERGE-EI and being here. And Johanna is representing Students Affairs Office, or I should say Students' Best Friends Office, because this is a group of people who help us with many issues. It's not that we have many issues, but with the issues that might arise during our stay and study here. And they do it so well that sometimes we don't even notice how tricky the issues were. So Johanna will talk more about admissions, the legal part of the question, paperwork maybe. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
That's correct. I will try to lead you through the admissions process. In case you have some very specific questions concerning the notification and verification of diplomas, maybe this is better to deal it through email communication. But the rest we can discuss here. I'll be happy to help you.
Okay, and before we start with the presentation itself, I would highly encourage you to write your questions in this chat where you said hello and good evening, thank you. Now I know that you for sure hear us. Any questions that you have during presentation, whether it's something that I talked about but not enough, or whether it's something we didn't talk about but you want to know, don't hesitate, just ask. If we don't address it right away, we promise we will go through all the questions at the end.
We should also mention that the Deputy Director for Graduate Studies, Christian Marzegic, is going to join us for the questions and answers part. So it's not only about us answering your questions, but also one of the faculty members and actually the Director for the Graduate Studies will be here. So he's the best person to be asked about the program
and how to get admitted.
How to get admitted, yes.
Okay, so I hope you will enjoy, find it useful, and don't forget to ask questions. So I will now turn the presentation on, and that's what you will see on your screens. Okay, so CERGE-EI stands for Center for Economic Research and Graduate Education, Economics Institute, and it was founded in Prague in 1991. And the distinguished feature of CERGE-EI from other institutions that offer PhD is that here we have Western-style education, and everything is in English. Oh, excuse me, I will have to learn how to change the slide. Okay. So technically, we are kind of institute inside Charles University. Practically, we are rather autonomous in what we study and decisions that we take. And we are very close to Czech Academy of Science. So let me tell you some things about CERGE-EI. CERGE-EI has a good ranking in the international arena and has established itself as an institution of a good quality. And here in this presentation, we offer you several quotes from people who are leading the profession, basically, on different aspects of CERGE-EI. So Heckman, very notable person, you can see that he's Nobel laureate. He says that CERGE-EI is a place where you can get high quality training and be at the frontier of economic research. Our professors, even those who are Czechs, they all have PhDs from best US and Western European schools. So we have professors who have PhDs from Princeton, Chicago, London School of Economics, and other very, very good schools, top schools. And inside Executive and Supervisory Committee, we have Nobel laureates, we have Princeton professors, Harvard professor, and again, people who are really well known and well respected in economic and academic economic environment. Now, students are not of, at least not of worse quality as those in Harvard or other leading Western schools, which is reassuring once you become one and find this out. And here we have very international environment. You can literally feel it when you become part of it. So on every cohort, you will have a group of Czech students, you will have a group of Russian speakers, you will have a smaller but very noticeable group of students from Balkan countries and Caucasus. Often a cohort has somebody from Africa and Asia. We had both, we had Ethiopian and Chinese. And it's very interesting, in fact, to be in such environment. You get to talk to students who are kind of almost like you, but also not like you. So you kind of get to know the world a bit even. Currently, we have 170 students in all cohorts. We have gender parity, which is probably why so many people actually find life partners here. And it's not a joke, it's true. I think it's even a bit underestimated because I don't think everybody reports when they get married. And to get here, to be admitted, you don't necessarily need to have economic background. If you studied maths or any other technical subject, it's also good. And people are definitely successful here as well. Now, once you graduate from the PhD program, many doors are open to you in terms of career. You can go to academia, you can go to central banks or other governmental institutions, you can work in international organizations, you can also, of course, go to private sector. And here you can see our top placements. So in the list, you can see this leading consulting and macroeconomic modeling companies. Many graduates work there, international organizations, and pretty good universities where our PhD graduates are now professors. So again, another nice opinion about CERGE-EI is that the research you can produce here, both faculty and students, is competitive by the international standards. Regarding rankings, as I said, we are quite highly ranked in many classifications. The research of our faculty is published in top economic journals, and we have charter from New York State University. Apart from academic research and classes, if you want, there are also other events going on. So, for example, there is this think tank idea. This is a group of people who do policy-oriented research. Then on a weekly basis, we have like at least one research seminar or public lecture. This is an event when professor from a different university comes to Prague, to CERGE-EI, and then they present their research. Everybody can listen, ask questions, and learn something new. Nobel laureates visit us from time to time and give their public lectures. And also we sometimes have conferences. Now the resources CERGE-EI offers are top level. We have best library in the Czech Republic. Students from other faculties visit the library and read books quite often. Now, we also have Academic Skills Center. This is very useful, especially for those who are not native English speakers. So this is a group of native English speakers who are trained to teach future economists to use English in a comprehensible way. So they teach you how to express your thought, how to phrase a sentence and paragraph such that everybody can understand what you want to say, not only you. And our building is open 24/7, so anytime you can be in one of the classrooms or in computer lab or lounge room. CERGE-EI offers several programs. Today we will be talking about PhD in economics. I see the first question, and I think we will be talking about it a bit, and we will definitely address it a bit later, but thank you. So let me talk about the PhD program. For the PhD program, CERGE-EI is looking for students who want to get rigorous academic training in a Western-style institution, and after that to pursue an academic career or, as I mentioned, work in global organization, government, or leading private sector. So the good thing about CERGE-EI is that when you graduate from the PhD, you get 2 degrees at the same time. You get a US degree and a Czech degree, which means that if you want to work here in Czech Republic or in Europe, you show your degree and it's accredited. At the same time, if you want to find a job in US, you show your diploma and it's as if you finished or graduated from something in the United States. Now, how does it work? So you're expected to graduate in 5 years. Sometimes it takes longer, and like it's possible. First 2 years, you do basically MA coursework. And on the 3rd year and on, you start writing your dissertation. And during the dissertation writing stage, you have the opportunity to go for mobility, or we call it stays abroad, to best US schools or one of the schools in Europe. It's basically your choice. Of course, depends on the connections, but half of my classmates probably already have been to Princeton, spent there several months and found it very useful and inspiring. So a bit more in details. Before students are admitted to the 1st year, most of them are invited to the preparatory semester that takes place in summer in Prague, of course. You come here, you have 3 main subjects, macro, micro, and maths. In the end, you are evaluated, and also at the same time, when you are here, you create your impression about CERGE-EI. You decide whether you like it, whether you think you will be a good fit, whether it's for you or not. And yeah, you also choose where you want to be admitted or not. Once you're admitted, 1st year is very intense because there is a lot of main things that everybody needs to either revive in their memory or learn. Usually it's learn. So everybody has micro, macro statistics and econometrics. It's a track. And also we have the academic writing that I mentioned before. This is when we learn to, it's not about grammar that much. It's more about expressing and talking clearly. In the 2nd year, it gets a bit easier because you can choose what you study. Usually people choose either macro track and let's say theoretical empirics or econometrics and something like labor economics. It's up to you. It's better to choose the track, but nobody had problem choosing something. And very important thing about these first 2 years are these general exams. You have to pass 3 of them in the end of 1st year, 2 in the end of 2nd year. And this is basically your ticket to continue with PhD. So there is a grade requirement, which is possible to reach, I would say, if you really want it. You need to meet this requirement to be able to continue with PhD. Now, somewhere in the end of second year, your life changes completely because you move from 3 deadlines per week to, let's say, 1 in 2 months. It depends a lot on your supervisor and how you organize it all. But basically, you are your own boss. There are requirements that you have to meet. For example, you need to present research idea in the beginning of third year, and you need to present a paper and further research ideas in the end of fourth year. But how you organize it, how intensely you work, when you work, who you talk to, it all depends on you. You should meet these things. You should be ready to defend in 5 years or maybe a bit later. And during this time, you can again go on mobility, as I mentioned before. You can participate in teaching fellowship program that brings a significant increase in income to you. You can get grants for your research. And yeah, talk to everyone and develop your ideas. I will address one of the questions that we have because it seems to be very to the point right now. So the question says, hello, preparatory semester is usually for students without economic background or not. It doesn't matter what background you have. Usually we have both economic background and math background students. It's the committee, it's the admission committee who decides who they want to see on preparatory semester and who they admit directly. But there is no clear rule for that. Is that right, Johanna?
Yes. When the admission committee is sure that the applicant will have, let's say, no problem in the very beginning with the studies, the person is admitted directly. If they have some doubts that they might struggle a bit, the student is invited into the preparatory semester. And as Katja said, it's not only good for the committee in the end, which can see how you proceed, how you pass the exams, but it's good also for you to learn how we teach economics here. So, but as Katja said, there's no rule that only math students are invited to the preparatory semester and economics not. It depends on your previous study results and background.
And also, don't be afraid of the preparatory semester. It's actually a good thing. Even some students who are invited directly, they choose to participate in the preparatory semester because they think it's a preparation for them as well for the studies here. And majority of students come to preparatory semester. So don't be afraid of it. It's good for you. And I want to address part of another question that we have here. So the question says, how many places in total are available for PhD in economics program starting this year? As far as I know, there is no strict number of places, but I guess I also should direct it to Johanna.
Yes, there's no strict number, so it depends on how strong candidates we have. But usually we admit about 25 or 30 students, but it might differ year by year.
Yeah, if they see that 35 students are capable of studying and being good here and profiting from it, I think all of these 35 get admitted.
Yeah.
And regarding money and financial support, we will be talking a bit later. Mm-hmm. So we will address it a bit later.
Mm-hmm. But maybe we can mention the financial thing regarding the preparatory semester. Yes, we do support all students who are invited to the preparatory semester. So we cover the travel expenses, and so we provide you with accommodation here in Prague during the preparatory semester. And if you decide to quit before the end of preparatory semester, I don't think we charge you in any way, but I'm not sure about this question, so please do email us. In the end, we'll show you the email address, and I will check that with my colleagues, but I don't think there's any punishment.
No, I don't think
we don't ask you to pay us back, but just to confirm that, please do email us, and I will check that. for sure.
But is it true that financial support for preparatory semester is divided into 2 installments, second of which you get in the end of semester, basically?
Yeah, actually it should be like that.
So the way it works, you kind of invest a bit into it, but you get the money like in the middle, in the beginning and in the end. So if you decide to quit before the end of preparatory semester and you simply leave Prague, you will not get the second installment.
Yeah.
But I also think that nobody will ask you to give the money back.
Yeah, that's correct.
So also there is a question that could be addressed now. If you get admitted, can you defer the offer to the following year?
In case it is necessary for you, it's possible. So, for example, actually, I must say that every year there's 1 or 2 students who might have some problems with visas from those visa countries, and in case they don't, it can happen that they don't get the visa in time. So, especially in this case, we do offer deferment for the following year.
So this is regarding preparatory semester?
Both preparatory semester and also in the case of directly admitted students.
And in case the student was able to come to preparatory semester, finished it, got offered to begin studies in September, and want to postpone?
Yeah, this is to be discussed individually. This is up to the decision of the deputy director for graduate studies.
Actually, we can ask him when he's here.
We can ask him when he comes, when he joins later. He should be here in about 10 minutes, so we can discuss it later with him. But yes, but it's always up to the individual decision.
Right. Okay, I will move on for now. Thank you for your questions. Or maybe I will try to address another question. Can students be admitted to teaching assistantship during first 2 years of study or only for the 3rd year? If you mean, you mean teaching fellowship program, I suspect. So in case you mean teaching fellowship program, you can do it only on your 3rd year and higher. You cannot do it during first 2 years simply because it takes time and you have to be somewhere else, but you have to be studying at that time. If you mean teaching assistantship here at CERGE-EI, because when you start being here studying from the 2nd semester, everybody has to do assistantship, and it can be teaching assistantship, meaning that you help professor teaching the course to the younger students. So this you can do in the 2nd year already, yes. And for that you get a bonus. It's not very big, but it's still good. It's not as big as for teaching fellowship where you teach your course. But yeah, I hope I addressed this question. If I didn't, please specify it such that I see more clearly what exactly you want to hear.
Yeah, I should just add a few notes on the teaching fellowship. The teaching fellowship is run by our foundation, and the purpose is to send the best PhD candidates to usually to countries of their origin to teach courses mostly for undergraduate students, and so those are usually 1 semester long courses. So that's why you cannot participate in the teaching fellowship program during the first 2 years when you have to follow the courses here at CERGE-EI. So it's available for more advanced students. But the teaching assistantship, as it is run here, you can join even earlier. Yes. But those are 2 separate things, so we should do the next step.
Okay, we will continue. So here on the screen, you can see names of some of the recent dissertations. What I think I should mention is that you are the one who chooses what to do. Nobody will tell you, okay, you will be working in macro and this is the question you will be addressing. No, you choose yourself. You go to professors who work approximately in the field that you want to do. You talk to them, you share your ideas. They will give you advice whether it's worth it or not. and in the end, you somehow, with the help of the advisor, you frame your research. But you basically choose it given the faculty we have, and we have broad topics among faculty. We have macro, theoretical micro, empirical people, also experiments. Two of my classmates are actually doing it. So yeah, it's up to you.
I think the good thing about the study program here at CERGE-EI is that you have to set your title or topic of your dissertation in the second year of your studies. So, is that correct, Katya?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I don't know something. I have the impression that you are not like pushed to phrase it right away. I think the way your dissertation will be called mostly depends on the papers that you have written. And yeah, so you sometimes you even come with a name for dissertation in the end when you already see what you have.
Yeah, no, I mean
But in the second year, you have to choose the field,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
because it will not work if you decide, I want to do macro. And then you talk to everyone, and then you even, I don't know, pass DPW, present your idea, and then in 2 months you decide that you want to do something else. It's good to like choose, you have to choose the area. At least I will be working with data on this and that.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I meant.
Okay.
And the good thing is that you don't have to have it in the very beginning of your study. So even
Right.
though if you already have some field you want to focus on, you still have time to reconsider it. Or if you don't know what you want to focus yet on, you still have time to go through several fields and then choose your field of interest.
That's right, yeah. You don't need to have clear idea of what you want to do when you come here. Though I guess it's kind of good if you have idea of what you want to do, because then you can express it in your motivation letter and create an impression of somebody who is really interested in research. I suspect it kind of gives credit to you, but it's not very completely necessary if you want. So we see the question, do you have the requirements in terms of the number of publications? So I assume that you mean to get PhD, right? So if I'm right, then it's as follows. As far as I know, it's not a requirement to have publications in order to defend your dissertation. If you have your paper, one of your free papers published as a working paper here at CERGE-EI, it's only better for you because it's easier to defend. It's like easier to get to the defense. If you have journal publications, I'm happy for you, but it's for sure not a requirement at this point, at least this point. Okay, I will see what the other question is about. So is the research proposal a key part of the admission process? No. When I say research proposal, I am usually already talking about third year. At the admissions stage, before the first year here, you don't need to have a clear idea of what you want to do in terms of research. It's not a requirement. It's good if you have it. If you can express it, it's good, but it's not a requirement. If you mean admission to the third year, like that you are allowed to continue, as I mentioned, in the beginning of third year, you have to propose a research idea, and the faculty will listen to you. You make a presentation, and they give you feedback, and they decide whether they think that this idea is ready to be, implemented, and it's worth spending time on it, or you should work on developing it a bit more. Okay, second question is, what are the areas PhD applicants usually fail to make the grade in the application process leading to the admission refusal? So I suspect you mean preparatory semester. I don't think there is one specific subject that everybody fails. Everybody is more likely to fail. I don't think there is such subject. If you work hard, you will pass it, I would say. If you mean the application form, this question we will probably direct to DDGS, who will hopefully join us soon, because he has best access to the people who make this decision, and we really don't know. So we will come back to that.
Yeah, definitely. First, you have to meet all the formal conditions. So you have to provide us, of course, with all the documents that are required. We will go through that later. And yeah, and then it depends on the evaluation committee. So they evaluate all the documents, all the information they have. And of course, it might differ applicant to applicant, but definitely our Deputy Director for Graduate Studies can tell you more in a while.
And there is another question that I am not sure I understand. So, Volkan, please rephrase it if you can. Is the PhD program depends on quantitative basis or applied? I am not sure what you mean. So please try to phrase it more clearly. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess we don't have anything to add to the dissertation topics, and we will move on.
Also, if you go on our website, you can see the list of dissertation topics,
right.
Really the full list of our alumni. So you can go through it. You can have a look what research areas you can focus on here. Also what our faculty members
right.
do. So this can give you the best idea of what we focus on here.
Okay. Okay, so we came to the pleasant part, which is financial support. So technically, of course, there is a prize for teaching us here. Oh, hello, Kresham. So, as we expected, our DDGS joined us, and we will address the questions to him after we finish with the presentation. So, as I was mentioning, there is technically a prize for teaching us here, and you need to meet requirements to get waiver for this tuition fee. Practically, I don't know anyone who didn't get it. Johanna, you probably can express it more clearly. And
yes, that's correct. Actually, all students who meet the conditions get the full financial support. So, like if you are a master graduate, if you meet our conditions, then there's no problem. As Katya said, almost all students receive it, so you shouldn't be.
Basically, there is positive discrimination. Eastern students are always released from paying. In principle, Western students should pay, but even they somehow manage to avoid payment so far. So
yeah, so those are the words of the Deputy Director for Graduate Studies. So, as you can hear, you shouldn't be stressed by the financial question.
Right, and then you also get stipend. I'm very often asked whether the money you receive as stipend are enough. I would say it's enough for an average student. And I don't know anyone who would be supported by their parents for day-to-day life. If you live in dormitory and you go for normal lunch options, not to very expensive places, it's enough. Of course, you cannot afford to rent flat by yourself only, but you can flat share. I know some cases where, let's say, 4 students would rent a 2-room apartment. So for normal life, it's enough. Then when you are on 3rd year or higher, you can do this teaching fellowship that we already mentioned, and then you get some substantial addition to the stipend for that. Also, medical insurance is fully covered by CERGE-EI, and public transportation is almost fully covered. Mm-hmm. And when you apply, there is no fee. Now, what are the enrollment requirements? Again, I will give the word to Johanna and Kresho, but first I will just quickly tell my view on this. So regarding English proficiency, I think there are some people, at least some, who kind of doubt and are a bit worried about their English, I can say that it's important to have good basis. Like, you should be able to read books and write. And if you, let's say, have difficulty in talking simply because you never had enough experience, that's okay. Once you get here and everything is in English, you will adjust very soon. And we had cases in preparatory semester when people had difficulty, like take 10 seconds to phrase one sentence. In the first year, they were very fluent already, and it was not a problem. You will for sure adjust. Regarding mathematical background, of course, the better mathematically prepared you are, the better for you. But don't worry if you don't know the things that we teach here. You will learn them. It's important that you have kind of talent for mathematics. Okay, and now I will let Johanna say about master's degree and equivalent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we actually exceptionally we accept also bachelor graduates. The problem is that as Katja already mentioned, we provide the Czech PhD and American PhD. The thing is that according to Czech law, bachelor graduates cannot be admitted in the Czech PhD program. Thus, the bachelor graduates are admitted only in the American program, which means that the financial support may be lower. And it might be a little more complicated visa procedure, but it is regular anyway.
So in principle, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible, but you have to be really good and promising.
Yeah,
And
as a
very
bachelor.
hard.
and it doesn't happen very often that we admit bachelor graduates. So the best way how to get here is to already have master degree. In case you are a bachelor graduate, we recommend to apply for a master program, for example, at your home university, and then apply for the visiting master scheme here at CERGE-EI, which means that you would spend 1 year of your master studies here at CERGE-EI, following our PhD courses. Then have them recognized at your home university. This you have to discuss with your home university, of course, whether they agree or not. And then when you apply later for our PhD program, we recognize all those your courses that you passed here, and you go directly to the second year of the PhD program, which means that you saved 1 year. And already at the master level, you experience the PhD program studies.
Did you mention application to Institute for Economic Studies as a visiting master?
That's an option also that you can. There's a Institute of Economic Studies here in Prague at the Faculty of Social Sciences of Charles University in Prague, and you can apply there for master studies, of course, and then you can easily join our visiting master scheme because there's a special agreement between this institute and CERGE-EI. So then there's for sure that they recognize our courses. And
so to shorten it, it is possible to apply with bachelor, but the best way is to apply at MA program for Institute of Economic Studies and then sit here and pass first year exams, which will be recognized both at this Institute of Economic Studies as your master program, and later on, when you get a credential to become master, we'll recognize you this exam. So yes, basically you would not lose anything with this course.
Okay, and since we're talking about admissions, we can also address the question, can you give some advice on motivation letter needed for admission? So from my side, of course, I don't know for sure. I don't admit students here, but I would say very important thing to keep in mind is that you have to be very clear and write very clearly why you want to come to CERGE-EI, why you are a good fit here. And if you already have some ideas for research, I guess it's not bad to mention them. But try to be very to the point and don't include like unnecessary things. But now we can ask our DDGS about advice for a
letter.
motivation letter. And also before we had a question, what are the reasons why some of the students who apply fail? Like what is lacking in their application form or like...
Okay, remind me to this. Let me go first to this motivation letter.
Okay.
Well, motivation letter is not only why you should just come to CERGE-EI, this is important, but why you should study modern economics. So you have to show us that you are somehow intrigued by modern economics, that you already notice some important phenomena which you would like to understand better and explore and eventually do research. So this is of course important, that we notice you are motivated. Why some people fail? Well, they fail because motivation letter is not convincing to begin with, or well, there are different kind of failures. One kind of failure is that you are not even admitted to prep semester. This means that not you, but let's say somebody. It means that I don't know, letters of recommendations are not great. Performance in your previous university is not excellent. Motivation letter is weak. There is no evidence that you possess enough mathematical background and English proficiency, and so there are this mixture of reasons why somebody will not be, as you can figure out, why somebody will not be accepted.
I think when I was writing my motivation letter, like I decided that I need to kind of show that I'm suitable in terms of math. So let's say I mentioned that I got very high grade in my school ending exam in mathematics. I know it's like, okay, school ending exam in Lithuania, but you know, I was using every single small thing that I could to show that I will be able to speak English, that I can adjust and so on.
So you have to signal us, you know, in
Yes.
economics there is something what called signaling. So
I have to be enthusiastic about coming here.
And you can also find the motivation letter guideline on our website that might help you to structure it well, so you know what to focus on. And
Structure is very important. As somebody who studied in Russia, I can tell you, please pay attention to it. One paragraph, one idea, that's what they teach us. Okay, so we will try to address another two questions. Don't worry if I don't address your questions. We will go through the questions again and make sure we do address all of them. So the question is the following. I did my master's in Belarus. On the application form, I realized I have to convert my grades from the Belarusian system to the US GPA system. Can I use credible website to do this? For example, foreigncredits.com.
yeah, yes, you can. It's even okay if you go to some general website like Wikipedia, which can give you some guideline how to proceed, how the grading systems work in different countries.
Another question, is there any age limit on fresh admissions? I would say no, because I think we had people who were 30-something and started first year.
No, definitely there's no
in
restriction.
principle there is no, but admission committee is unfortunately, I would say from my experience, biased against age. So there is kind of mild age discrimination. If you are over 40, let's say, then you know, admission committee might be asking why you didn't apply before, or what is the reason that you're applying with 42 now to CERGE-EI. So, but in principle, yes, age should not matter.
Right.
In theory, in practice, there might be some mild considerations.
Okay.
I can be open.
I think it's fair enough. Okay, another question. I have a master's diploma nostrification by CVUT, but I'm already enrolled into PhD course at home uni, Belarus, second year. Is any transfer to your program possible?
Well, once you have nostrification here in Czech Republic, which I think you have, if you mention CVUT, the Czech Technical University, then you don't have to go through the notification process again at all. So you just provide us with the notification document, and then it's fine for us. So then we can apply for our PhD program, and you don't need to verify your documents again and ask.
But does it mean that she applies to the first year, or she can have her first year in Belarusian university?
Now, there was a question about recognizing exams. Unfortunately, no, there is no recognition of exams. This is standard US practice. You might have noticed that we have US accreditation, and even if you move from Harvard to Chicago, they are not going to recognize most of the exams, if any. So you have to do these exams again from the scratch.
So no, I think, Natalia, it means that you cannot start here from the second year. You will have to go for first year.
Exactly.
But I am not sure it's a bad thing for you. On the first year, you learn a lot of very useful things. I don't know what you learn in Belarus on the first year, but I don't think you will regret you came to the first year, because it's
in principle, everybody can, petition to be accepted to the second year, but condition for this is to pass all first year generals.
Oh, okay.
So
good luck with that.
But this is mission almost impossible.
It's very difficult, obviously. Yes. Okay, is specialist degree 5 years, 300 ECTS also okay for applying, or it's better to apply first to masters? So I suspect this question comes from somebody from Russia. I did my first degree in Russia, and I had 5 years, and this was recognized as master's degree. I am not sure what you mean by 300 ECTS, probably Johanna knows.
I don't know.
Not really, actually. The important thing is how many years your study program is long. So if you have, for example, 3 years of bachelor program and then 2 years of master, it's perfect. If you have 4+1, it's perfect. So this is not so important for us. Like we know that you might have good education in 4 years, but it's quite important for the notification process. So if your study program is 5, maybe 4, then it's okay, and then the notification process shouldn't have any complication for you.
But from practice, yeah, 5 years in Russia, it's master's here. Don't worry. Okay, how do you determine mathematical background for admission? If GRE is required, how much quantitative score is required?
GRE is not required.
GRE is not required.
And of course, if you have some very decent GRE score, very good for you.
But how do you, if there is no GRE or any other equivalent, how do you see whether, how you...
Well, it's an admission committee to judge based on your grades, grade point average, based on the letter of recommendation. Maybe your professor writes to us that you are a big talent in math, and so these are imperfect information based on which we make judgment.
Yeah. Okay, so we will move with the presentation. We will address questions that we didn't later, I promise. Thank you for your questions, by the way. We are very happy to reply to them and write more. Okay, so this slide is about what you need to apply, and I give word to Johanna.
So you probably already know those information from our website, but anyway, I shall mention that because it's very important for you to have a chance to be admitted. So of course you have to fill in the application form and submit it. You don't need to send anything by post. Everything can be done online. So fill in the online application form that you find on our website. Attach your curriculum vitae, statement of motivation, and then 2 letters of recommendation are necessary. It works like that once you submit your online application form, an automatic request will be sent to your referees. You have to indicate the referees' emails in your online application form. And your referees will fill in this online referee letter and send it to us. Why do I mention this? It's very important to submit your online application in advance, because, as I said, the request to your referees will be sent only after you submit it. So don't leave it on the very last days, because we need all those documents by the deadline, by the April 30th. So even the letters we need by the deadline. So it's really highly recommended to submit the application latest in the beginning of April. It depends how much time your referees need to write your letters of recommendation. And then, of course, we need scanned copies of your bachelor and master diplomas and transcript that are part of the online application form. So before you submit it, you shall provide us with the verified copies. You should upload them in your online application form. And the type of verification differs country to country. So please go to our website, check our verification guideline, and find the country where you studied, and find which type of verification you need to get on your diplomas and transcript.
Okay, thank you.
And I should also mention that in case in some countries it takes quite a long to get those required verifications. In some countries you need super legalization or apostille. It might take some time. So in case you are required to have those verifications and you already know that you will not have time enough to require them, to get them, you can send us just you can just scan plain copy of your diplomas and transcript and then provide us later with the verified copies. But definitely before coming to Czech Republic, before enrolling to the program, you need to have all your documents verified. Otherwise, according to the Czech law, you cannot be enrolled in the study program. And as mentioned by Katja, there is no fee.
Yes. Okay, so let me just shortly summarize the things I was mentioning about CERGE-EI and PhD program here. These are the good things about CERGE-EI. Maybe they will influence your decision on coming here. So in the region, we are by far best PhD program in economics. Once you graduate from PhD, you get 2 degrees at the same time. You get the opportunity to have the best education, good training, and be comparable to Western PhD students or graduates. You almost surely get scholarship and stipend. While studying here, you can go to leading Western universities for mobility and improve your research there. This all gives you opportunity to do good economic research. And you have all the resources necessary to succeed. And last but not least, Prague is a very nice city. As ex-foreigner, I can for sure tell that. And it's kind of easy to exist here even without language. Many things can be sorted out with English because many people speak the language. So apart from classes, lectures, writing, dissertation, we have other activities offered to students. For example, we have Coursera Learning Hub. If you know, Coursera is basically an online course that you follow on your own. And what we offer here is a weekly discussion session that are held by current students who are good in the subjects. So you can come and ask your questions. Then recently we introduced these special workshops. It's an event when a PhD student shares his or her experience on working on some particular topic that they work on. We also have new economic talent competition, and we will talk about it in one slide. Also, we have research seminars and other events where you can listen to the leading research in academic environment. A very important part of the presentation, just to make sure that you don't only think that we study and do nothing else. We also like social life. Our sports activities are very active at the moment. We have very good sports representatives. So on weekly basis, you can go to yoga classes or aerobics classes. The gym is located 2 minutes away from CERGE-EI. 3 minutes away from CERGE-EI, you have the squash court. Also, you can go there. You kind of pay for it, but then you get reimbursed once you bring the receipt. You can play badminton. It's a bit farther, but still people like it. Then there is opportunity to go to swimming pool. Every week they have basketball on Friday. I think there is also football team. Every year we have at least one bike trip. It's basically a day trip when we rent bikes and go somewhere nice. We also have hiking trips recently, and maybe something else that I forget at the point. Also, every semester we have beer parties. It's when all the building basically goes to a pub and has fun and drinks free beer that's paid by CERGE-EI. In the beginning of the year, we have food party. When students come, and faculty as well, come from their home countries, they bring some nice things, some food, or they cook something here and everybody gets to try it. Once per year, we have wine tasting. Again, everybody can bring wine from their home country. It gets tasted and evaluated, and we always have a winner. Also, we have student club. There you can play, you can use it anytime. You can go and have a nap if nobody else is using the club at that time. You can play table tennis or this table football, you know, this thing when you move the players and try to kick the goal. And we have special events like graduation gala every year. Okay, economic talent competition. Johanna, please tell us about it.
Yeah, so 2 years ago we established this competition for master and bachelor students and fresh graduates up to 1 year from graduation. And it is open to all students who are interested in economics. So we highly encourage you to participate and to submit your, for example, master thesis or another paper that you find to be of very good quality, and to compete with other students all around the world. I think last year we had more than 130 participants from about 50 countries. And the procedure is the way that the evaluation committee evaluates the papers, and then top let's say 15 papers. The list of top 15 papers is published on our website, and up to 5 finalists are invited to Prague, to CERGE-EI, to present their papers and to be evaluated by the final evaluation committee and to get some feedback on their research, and what's more important, to get some recommendation how to proceed in future. So it's quite helpful to those who get it to the final round.
Okay, thank you.
And of course, there's some financial award, and not only the financial award, we also provide financial support to participate in some very good conference in your field of interest. So this is usually to be discussed individually after the final round.
Okay, this completes the presentation. Of course, we will still handle some questions. So on the screen, you can see email address of Student Affairs Office, basically. There you can send all the questions you have regarding documents or anything else. And also, I included my email in case you have some questions that are more kind of suitable for a student, some practicalities. Don't hesitate, I will be happy to address those too. Okay, so now we will go through questions and reply to them. Yes, Johanna, please help me to open the whole chat, because I see that
You can click on
right. So first of all, right. So I think we had so many questions that I am not able to go to the very top, to the very first ones. So if we will now answer those that we can see. And if there is a question that was asked in the very beginning and we still didn't address it, please ask it again. Thank you. Okay. So we gave advice on the motivation letter. This question we replied. So let's see this question. What are the requirements for performance scholarship? All exams passed with excellent marks or some other performance indicators? How to get performance stipend?
Maybe Rachel can.
Well, I determine performance stipend. You should not be having all A pluses for this, so this is not the case, but you should be, I guess, in the top 10% of your cohort. So it means you have to have decent and very nice performance on your exams.
Very up there, we had a question. Do you have students who brought family with them? Yes, maybe not right away, but yes. In my cohort, I can now think of at least 2 students who eventually brought their family. So this is a student from Ethiopia. First 2 years he was here alone because it's intensive studies, exams. After that, his wife and 2 kids came and they got room in family dormitory. And they are very comfortable there. They still live and coexist very well. Also, our Chinese classmate brought his wife and son, and they live here now. But usually it happens later because in the beginning you simply don't have time for that. Now, we still get the question, how do you determine math background? So let me again summarize, or maybe Kresha, you can do it better.
Well, definitely it's asymmetric information. We don't know your mathematical background. But you look to your grades in math. We look to your recommendation letters and try to figure out how good in math you are. But as Katja mentioned, well, you should not worry that much about mathematical background. You only have to know some basics, and if you are eager to learn, you will master it eventually. We are not math faculty, okay? So even though some math is really needed and welcome to have, you don't have to be afraid. This is not, we are not proving fixed point theorems or maybe exceptional.
Yeah, like my impression is that you don't need to come from maths faculty. But if you, let's say, have had mathematics in your university and you are showing us transcript and it's a very low grade, then it's a bad sign, right? So if you had some mathematics somewhere in your education, it's better that you have a good grade, and it shows that you are able to kind of keep up with the material that you are taught. But if you don't know those things, you will learn them. It will require a lot of work. Nobody promises it will be easy, but you have the time to learn it when you're here.
There is math on prep semester.
Yes. Yeah.
Very intensive course. So.
Yeah. Okay. Then there is a question. I have a verified transcript into Czech language. Can I apply with them? Where should I show my diploma notification?
Actually, we need the transcript in English because the committee is international. So part of the committee wouldn't understand the Czech transcript. If you already have notification of your diploma, upload it in your online application form or provide it, and then you can show us that also later.
Okay, thank you. Next question. I have obtained my bachelor's degree from the University of London and I'm supposed to get an apostille verification of the diploma. I asked from the University of London for such verification, but they say that they can only send a letter of certification or transcripts directly to the CERGE-EI. In such a case, how should I proceed? Shall I make arrangements for the transcripts to be sent directly from the UOL to CERGE-EI?
Actually, no. I think if you go on our website, there is the guideline, so you can follow the guideline. In case of apostille, I remember it well, you need to contact, if you are not living in England anymore, you need to contact the embassy. But I think it's better to discuss those practical things by email, because there I can tell you more. I'm not. I don't think others need to know that, but I think those things can be discussed better by email. So please do email us, and I will guide you through this process individually.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I wanted to read the question. It's here. If I finish my master in June, do I need to verify somehow my confirmation of studies and current transcripts?
No, you don't need to verify them. It's you can provide us only with the English translation of your diploma and transcript, but you don't have to verify them. But once you receive your diploma and final transcript, you will need to have the verification done and provide us with that.
Right. When the results of admission will be known approximately?
In the first half of May, we will send you email with the notification with the results.
And what about after preparatory semester?
After preparation, as soon as possible. So in the
End of August, beginning of
Yeah.
September.
yeah, that's fine.
Do you have some personal experience with Visegrad Fund? As far as I know, we can apply to Visegrad stipend, but particular countries
Yeah,
only.
it depends on the country of origin. So you should check that on the website of Visegrad Fund. But yes, we do have some students or also visiting students who are supported by Visegrad Fund.
For sure, Lithuania is not in the list, so I personally didn't have the opportunity to have experience. Next question. I'm late for the beginning of webinar. Is it possible to obtain a record? I don't think so.
No, unfortunately, we do not record it, but we are anytime here for you to answer your questions by email. So actually, all the basic information we mentioned here are available on our website. So if you go through our website, you will definitely find all the necessary information. And if you have any additional questions, just contact us on our email address, and we are here to answer your questions.
What are the requirements for performance scholarship? All exams passed. I think I am reading it
Yeah.
again, right? Okay, so we
I
replied.
answer this.
Yes. I email verified copies of bachelor degree and master's degree. Do I need to send the same through post mail before April 30? No, I think we already mentioned that.
Well, we do not accept any documents sent by email, so please upload them in your online application
Okay.
form. In case you already submitted your online application form, please contact us by the email, and we will discuss that individually.
So the email PhD at CERGE-EI.
Yes.
Okay. How do you determine background? Again, I think we already talked about it. You're welcome for the thank you. How much is the cheapest housing option at dormitory? Is the place a dormitory guaranteed for accepted students? So the price for the dormitory, when you are already admitted to the first year, is roughly 25% of your stipend, and it's like fixed more or less. It doesn't depend on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you are guaranteed the place in a dormitory throughout your years. So it's not a question. If regarding flats, I don't really have full information right now, but it's for sure more expensive and more difficult to get. But the dormitory that is offered, I would say, is very acceptable and comfortable, and connection to the university is very good. So don't worry about that. And if you want to know the money, I think it's 3,000 Czech crowns per month, or roughly about something like that. Probably during preparatory semester, it's more because like the contract is shorter, but it's not much more than that, I would say.
So 100 euros plus 110, 15.
Right. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you for
You're
participating. You're welcome. Can you give some info about proposal demand? Is it have to be more specific? Also, do students make PhD in same subject? I'm not sure what you mean proposal demand. If you mean the research proposal or idea that you present in the beginning of third year, it's better if that's the idea you will work on after, like, you present and after you are allowed to continue. At the same time, you should keep in mind that apart from that idea, you will write 2 other papers, and those can be on a different topic than you presented in the beginning. It's better if it's related, but it's not very much, encouraged to change your field completely. Let's say if you presented an empirical research idea and you want to switch to theoretical macro, it will be hard to do.
But there was another question about whether all students do the same or something like this.
In this same question, you mean?
Yes.
Can you give some about what? Oh, yes, you're right. So
Answer is no.
no, answer is
Can't
no.
elaborate.
Yes, if you don't mind. So it's up to you what you do. You know what the faculty is doing, so you kind of choose something in those lines, and you have a very wide choice. There is macro, empirical,
Extremely wide.
extremely wide. Even you can do experiment, lab, or field.
And
Yeah, you can see that on our
very broad
website.
range of topics.
Yes.
From experimental economics, behavioral economics,
Yeah.
classical, neoclassical economics, macro, micro, something corrected political science, and the topics, empirical topics, which are just social science, which are not, somebody will claim it's not even economics. So it's extremely wide range of
I
topics.
guess I'm in such a situation. So it's up to you. Nobody will tell you what to do. You will only receive
We have
guidance.
very great, big academic freedom.
That's right. Is there any fee for the preparatory semester in
No.
case one will get direct admission? No, you are supported even to come here. When the application is submitted, if there are any problems regarding the transcripts, especially apostille verifications, since the deadline is April 30, can we get in touch with the CERGE-EI before the deadline to correct them? If there are some problems regarding transcripts, apostille.
Yes, in this case, you can, you should definitely upload the documents you have, even though the verification is not correct or missing. So, because the admission committee needs to see your transcript, needs to see what you studied, how you studied, and so on. And then later you can provide us with the correct verification. You definitely need to provide us before you come to Czech Republic in order to receive the notification later, in order to be able to enroll in the program. But it's not necessary for the application deadline.
Next question. I have written my research proposal. Is there any online platform I can submit it to support my application?
Well, you can, you can upload some, let's say, other documents that are not required, and this way you can upload also your proposal.
And you should summarize it in your motivation letter.
Mhm.
That is my suggestion.
Okay. I order to get the recommendations sent to CERGE-EI. Is it okay if I submit the scanned copies of the transcripts along with the online application, provided that I submit the properly verified documents once I arrive at CERGE-EI?
Yes. Yes.
You are welcome for all the answers. And yes, I think we answered everything you were asking. In case not, you still have a couple of seconds to ask your question.
10 seconds. 1, 2.
While Krish is counting, I will
3,
thank you again for participation and
4,
remind you that
5.
you can always write us an email asking questions. Just make sure to separate, like, the questions that are more student related regarding some practical details. Try to find a student who will reply to those, and the more legal questions should be directed to PhD@CERGE-EI CZ. Okay, so I believe we have done a good job and hopefully addressed all your questions, and it was effective. Thanks again. Have a good rest of the day.
And see you in the summer.
And good luck.
Here, one more question.
One more question.
Ah,
What is
okay.
the maximum duration for mobility opportunity? For how long can students go?
Standard mobility is 3 months, but since we got additional funds, it can be now easily 4, 5, maybe even 6 months.
You're welcome. Okay, if you have more questions, just direct them to our email. Have a good day. Good luck with applications and admissions, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For your
Bye.
Thank you.
participation. Goodbye.